Good morning. Today I thought I would take you out on my walk, which means it's going to be like, you're probably going to feel pretty seasick watching me, but there's a little bit of scenery for those of you that are stuck inside without much scenery. You can kind of see the houses that I'm walking by, and yeah, so what's happened is kind of new. So London here is on the upward spiral. They say that it's about 2 weeks ahead of the rest of the country. And so we're watching what's happening in London. Their hospitals are already full up. And so, of course, this intensified lockdown is in part because the hospitals are just too full up and are already getting that way. I think I sent quite a few of you the message from a friend of mine, because her husband is in intensive care with it just in Salt Lake, which is kind of startling and not so good. And of course we're very, very conscious of Paul at the moment. There's been some interesting new developments here which are really encouraging. Just get past this truck real quick. Ugh. Okay, one of them is because they know the hospitals will be so swamped, and really the Conservative government here for the last 10 years has been really starving the NHS. It's been one of the big talking points for a while because it's not a nice place to be, and of course now we've got this massive crisis and they've laid off or fired so many administrators, nurses, etc., and doctors aren't happy working in there. So that's not been great. So they've actually asked for volunteers from the community to help out, because they're pulling all the workers that go into people's homes and help the elderly. They're calling them into the hospitals now. And so now the general public is going to have to go in and help out in people's homes. So they asked for 250,000 volunteers yesterday. They've got 170,000 signed up so far. And Paul and I are trying to figure out a way that maybe we could get involved. It's hard for us because he's diabetic, but maybe we could take calls or do something along that line. So I'll let you know if they respond to us and let us know if there's something that we can do. So that would make us feel a bit better. There's nothing quite as bad as being in some sort of a crisis and not being able to help. That makes people feel a lot more helpless generally. Very bad news yesterday was Paul was doing his lessons with Kieran, and he spilled his drink on Kieran's computer. So you can imagine how devastating that was, because it's not like we can just go and buy a new computer now. We can't. So we've got it taken apart, and it's drying out. Yeah, it's not good. Kieran had a good old moan yesterday, like a proper good cry. He said it was as if the electricity was pulled out from him, which was kind of tragic, really, to observe. Now I'm out of breath, not because I'm walking and out of breath, because that would be a bad thing, but we just did a high intensity interval workout, and so I'm still a bit pooped out from that. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying the scenery and what we're looking at here. Good morning. It's getting a little bit more country fried here. Not too hard to social distance out in the country. I'm going to see if I can give you just a view of just how very countrified it is. So when I started talking to you, I had just turned the corner from our house. And here's what it's like. So that's kind of fun, isn't it? Just loads and loads and loads of fields and birds, and it's really nice. I think in general we're doing quite well. Of course, Paul did go to the store today. Oh, I should probably hold this farther away. Actually, I don't know if my muscles can handle that. I'm that weak. We've only been doing this high intensity stuff for 15 minutes a day for 3 days, and Paul and I are in agony. Even Kieran's in a bit of pain. That goes to show how completely unfit we were. I imagine, oh, I'm going to run out of time. Okay, see you in a bit.